father was a member of the volunteer fire department in my hometown when I was a lad. And the thousands of volunteer fire departments across America symbolize, I think, the strong sense of community, which is such an admirable part of our American character. By getting involved and working together, we Americans have always been confident that we can do whatever has to be done. In fact, confidence is kind of an American trait.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to this month's Live From at the Reagan Library. Remember, we do these on the first Wednesday of every month. They're back! My favorite season, goat season, here at the Reagan Library. They come every year to help us with fire abatement, and in this month's Live From, we're going to tell you all about it. So that video you just saw of me was filmed about 10 days ago while the goats were still on our campus. But I am here with you right now live. So if you're watching live on YouTube or on Facebook, please go to that chat box right now. Put in your name and where you're watching from so I can say hello and give you a shout out or ask a question about what we're talking about. I will be going to these screens multiple times throughout this podcast, and as you know, it's my favorite part of doing these lives. So don't be shy, go to that chat box, and again, just simply put in your name and where you're watching from so I can say hello. I'll be going there in just a minute. So this video started with a video of President Reagan talking about the importance of a volunteer fire department. Now here at the Reagan Library, we're so fortunate to be in a very close proximity to the Ventura County Fire Department. It's a fire department made up of remarkable men and women firefighters who keep us safe. But as part of what the firefighters do for us, there's a somewhat voluntary component that we want to talk about, and that voluntary component are goats. Every May, the Ventura County Fire Department brings 200, 300, 400 goats here to the Reagan Library. Those goats eat all of the weeds in the 15 acres closest to the Reagan Library as part of our sort of fire protection zone. It used to be done by hand crews from the Ventura County Fire Department where they actually did all of it by hand, and now it's done by the goats, so a much better use of the firefighters' time than having to do that. And it's really fun, so we thought we would sort of share that with you. Now, if you recall, maybe if you live locally, back in 2019, there were huge fires in the Los Angeles area, and those fires became dangerously close to the Reagan Library. In fact, they surrounded the Reagan Library almost in its entirety, came up all of our front road, came up all of our back road, literally came up within feet of our Air Force One pavilion. The Ventura County Fire Department, along with fire departments from all over the place, really worked valiantly to save our property. And when the fire was contained, a handful of firefighters all shared with us and said the same thing, that it was the fire break line created by the goats that made it possible for them to successfully fight the fire without any damage here to the Reagan Library. So fortunate. So before we get any further into this podcast, we thought it would be fun to share with you a short video of the goats arriving here on our property just last month. A herd of 535 goats are back at work at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum in Simi Valley, California. Their job? To create protective fire lines by eating the local vegetation surrounding our campus buildings.
This is one of our more successful places to insert the goats. They eat the majority of all the fuel types here. With the success rate we've had with Reagan Library and the fires in the past, it works.
The goats will be working here for a limited time. And in case you miss seeing them in person, here's a close-up look from our exclusive goat camp. Honestly, I could watch that video all day long. Probably if you ask any staff member here at the Reagan Library what their favorite part of working at the Reagan Library is, and they're almost all going to say having the goats come up in May. So I want to go to the screens now, but only one person has commented, so don't be shy. Go to that chat box, give me your name and where you're watching from. I have a shout out from Nate, Savannah, and Fetty from Fort Collins, Colorado. Hello, you three. Thank you for watching. If there's anyone else watching, please go onto that chat box and say hi. Really easy, just your name and where you're watching from so I can say hello. I'll go to the screens again in a few minutes, so I'll give you a few minutes to kind of go back in there and add more. So as I said, the goats come every May. This past May, we had hundreds. We had 535 goats. The goats stay on our property anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, however long it takes them to eat all of the weeds around our campus. With 535, they were here for less than 2 weeks. And for the goats, this is their full-time job. Now, I know I said they were volunteers, but it's their full-time job. Goats and sheep, as part of weed abatement, has become a very popular way of handling weed abatement, just like mowing or burning or even hand crews used to be. And it's a very efficient way. When the goats come here every year, they come with an actual shepherd. This man lives on our campus in a trailer and stays here the entire time the goats are on our property. And this person comes with a dog. Sometimes 1, 2, or 3 dogs. This time we had 1. The dog and dogs are incredible. They completely keep the goats in line. So basically when the goats arrive, a sort of fenced perimeter is set up around the area. The dog helps the goats off the trucks and into the penned area. The goats eat all of the weeds in that area. And then the shepherd with the dog's help move the goats to the next section in the fenced area. And they go around the entire campus until all 15 acres are eaten. It's just so much fun to watch and really incredible. Now, normally, when these goats come, we work with the Ventura County Fire Department to bring media out so that the media can watch the goats come off the trucks, and then the fire department talks to the media about the importance of fire safety. Well, because of the horrific fires that were here in the Los Angeles area just this past January, Altadena, Pasadena, Glendale, Pacific Palisades, and other locations, we actually asked the fire department if this time around they would open up this sort of safety day to the community and actually host a fire safety day for the community here at the Reagan Library. And they really quickly agreed. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to do on that fire safety day. But one of the things I forgot to share with you, which is actually kind of the cool things about how this all works, is, again, this is a full-time job for the goats. They come here, they eat all of the weeds, and then they are sent back to the ranch or farm from where they come. The goats that we get actually come from Northern California. They go back to Northern California where they reside for a couple of weeks. And that is done so that all of the weeds and the seeds and the plants they ate here on our property can, move through their system, clear out at that farm and ranch, so that when they go to their next job and the weeds that they're eating at their next job, they won't push anything out of their body that might have been taken from our property, so nothing goes to their property. So it's a really interesting way of how they do it all. So I would love to go back to the screens, but I don't think there's anyone that, come on people, don't be shy, come on. I know someone's watching, a few people. So get just your name and where you're watching from so I can say hi. I love to comment. So we'll just keep plugging ahead in the meantime. So what can you expect if you come here for Fire Safety Day? Well, we're doing a variety of things. You will learn all about the importance of weed abatement in a variety of different stations, from mowing and other things, as well as we are actually bringing a small goat petting zoo, so you can actually come interact with goats here on our property on Fire Safety Day. I don't know if I've mentioned it, Fire Safety Day is June 25th, so the day of this recording, it's 3 weeks from today. You will also learn about the importance of choosing an out-of-state emergency contact. You'll learn the importance of packing a go-to bag and what should actually go in the go-to bag. You will learn things from Red Cross, Southern California Edison, Ventura County Animal Shelter and Animal Services of what you should do with your animals when there's an emergency like that, and different shelters you can take them to if it's required. When you arrive, you'll be handed a little free passport. The passport will talk about all the different stations we have on our campus to teach you about fire safety. As you go from station to station, you'll get a little stamp to show that you've learned something from that area. And when you're done, if you turn back in your passport with all the things stamped, while supplies last, you'll be handed a swag bag, and then you'll be entered into a drawing for a larger gift. The gift is going to be items from all different of the vendors who are going to be here, not just at the Reagan Library, but even the Ventura County Fire Department are putting in fire extinguishers. It's a really great bag, so really worth coming. It's important to say that every part of this Fire Safety Day is free to attend. There is absolutely no charge to come, participate, receive a swag bag, enter into our larger drawing. Everything is free. Admission rates only apply if you choose to also see the Reagan Museum or the Air Force One Pavilion or our Dead Sea Scrolls exhibition. To learn more, you simply go to reaganlibrary.com/events. That's reaganlibrary.com/events. Events is plural. Find Fire Safety Day. You'll learn all about it. The other thing you'll get to do, which is super cool, talking about ways to stop a fire, We are actually going to have a demonstration of the Ventura County Fire Department's water dropping helicopter. The helicopter is going to drop water adjacent to our property, and then the helicopter is going to land right, literally like 15 feet from where I'm standing. And then once it lands, all of our guests who are here for Fire Safety Day will get to interact with the helicopter pilots and sort of look inside the helicopter. There's also going to be a variety of different vehicles like emergency service vehicles, fire department vehicles, Red Cross vehicles. All of those vehicles will be manned with people from those departments, and you can go talk to those people, look inside those vehicles, see how it all works, get questions you might have that you want to ask about how those vehicles work and how those people help with fire safety. There is so much to do. I'm going to do a quick look. I think I see someone's joined in. Carlo, is it true Ronald Reagan signed proclamations declaring National Dairy Goat Awareness Week in June? Did he really? I don't know that. If that is true, that is really cool. Now I need to go look that up. Thank you, Carlo. I had no idea. Thank you for that great question. We're going to take a look. So again, everything here is free. If you do choose to pay admission to go into the museum, I do want to just really quickly remind everyone that we do have our Dead Sea Scrolls exhibition. We're filming this today, I think it's June 4th, right? And this Friday and this Monday, we are doing our third and final scroll swap from our Dead Sea Scrolls exhibition. So we had 8 scrolls here in November to February, 8 new scrolls from February to June, and on June 5th or June 6th and June 8th or 9th, whatever day Monday is, we are doing our final swap. So even if you've seen the exhibition before, when you come for Fire Safety Day, it's a whole new set of 8 scrolls. This exhibition closes in just a few months. Again, a whole new set of final scrolls, really worth seeing if you haven't already been in, or whether you have or haven't been in, really worth seeing. So again, reaganlibrary.com/events to learn all about our Fire Safety Day. Next time we do this, I hope you guys are more chatty because I love to engage with all of you. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Hi, goaties. So we had to film this segment for our live from a little bit early because by the time we do our live from, these friends behind me won't be here. But come back next May and you can see them for yourself.